Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We just came off with an awesome game between the forces of the Astra Militarum and the Black Legion. There's lots to discuss. Of course, if you haven't seen it, look, you got to check it out. It's an amazing game. We will spoil the heckins out of it. And if you're wondering, Mel was the producer for today, but she does have to do some real-life work, so she's in the other room now. Yeah. So you're stuck with us. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about the game, about the new book, about the monstrosity of the tank that chat made, let us know.
I think it's a pretty cool tank.
It's pretty cool.
And also, don't call my Kratos a monstrosity.
Dude, I'm so excited that you're willing to build all the heresy stuff.
Hey, look. I mean, to be honest,
yeah,
the Kratos took like 3 hours and it's not done. So, Kratos was a lot of time.
I opened, it's like 4 or 5 sprues.
It's a lot of sprues.
Massive.
Well, but yeah, it's a lot of sprues.
It's crazy.
Oh, do you have the dozer blade? Can we get the dozer blade? It's so cool. We gotta show the dozer blade.
Unnecessarily large.
God, it's so big.
It's comically large.
Look
at this. It's huge.
So big.
Oh my God.
It's like
what?
It's like half a rhino. The dozer blade is actually just half a rhino on the front.
So wild. But we're super excited. We're gonna paint it up in the style of our fists, which will be cool.
We're gonna put as many heavy bolters on this Kratos as we can. It's gonna be exciting, but the Kratos pales in comparison to the what you have done, chat. To the thing you did.
You made this happen. Okay, this is your fault. Oh my God.
We also do have a Kratos charge to resolve against Abaddon.
Kragnos charge.
Sorry, Kragnos.
Kragnos charge. This is the one that does mortal wounds
so
too, right?
I will definitely roll 7.
So why do you say 7? For the 40k players, which is most people,
right.
What does that mean?
So 40k players, strap in, because this is going to blow your mind. Kragnos
it's going to upset you.
is a god, and he should do godly things.
Yeah.
Like
actually.
when he charges, you roll 2d6, and if it doesn't add up to 7, you multiply the 2 results, and that's how many mortal wounds his charge target takes. So we're just going to go ahead and kill Abaddon here.
Yeah.
Because he's a god. He ignores all abilities that let you not take wounds. I rolled a 7.
Abaddon lives!
It's a 6 and a 1.
Look, the system is perfectly balanced. I think.
AOS is a fair game, and that's why. Look, you could just not do the thing. That's AOS for you.
That's amazing. I
I couldn't have even written that. Couldn't have scripted it. Just rolled a 7. That was kind of along the lines of the whole game that we just played.
Hey, at least it's a 7.
Okay, all right.
7's in chat. Let's talk about the game we just played.
We have a lot to talk about.
It was, I know I've been saying this a lot lately, but the game's been changing so much. It was very educational. We had, there's the 7th, Black Legion with very hero heavy, lots of character fighting things, and then you were kind of leaning into the new Armor of Contemptish style rule on the vehicles for the Astra Militarum. A mission that was kind of fine for both of us, generally speaking. It did not go well for the Guard, though.
No, so I think both of these armies struggle with output.
Yeah,
which is
we're finding.
It's a big problem. Guard, their tanks got more durable, but to be honest, nobody was tabling Guard with shooting.
Yeah.
That just wasn't happening. Wasn't a problem. Guard lacked the output, and they don't want to change weapon profiles before the Codex comes out. And I think they did the most extreme thing they could do, which was Hammer the Emperor, which is 6 to hit auto wound, which is an amazing buff, especially given how many ways you can reroll all hits in Guard. Their secondaries are really close to being right, but they're just not. I'm hoping that when they get a book, by then the secondary's been fixed, their profiles get updated, and then you can play Guard and not be embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, I'm certain. I have faith that at worst it'll be totally playable.
Yeah.
And at best, which is also worst, it'll be totally busted and everyone will play Guard. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, everybody owns a Guard army.
Is that
That's
true?
a fact.
No.
Every 40k player owns a Guard army.
Well, I don't feel like I'm a 40k player. Here's the thing. Everyone wants to own a Guard army.
You know, it's funny I say it, but the only Guard I own is the Loyal 32.
Yeah. That's true. I do have Guardsmen. Or infantry.
That counts.
Guards people.
Because we're all part of the Guard.
We're all part of the Guard. it's a very intense army to collect. We'll say that.
Yes, it kind of is an unending pit.
Like, look at what we have, and we still don't have everything we'd like to be able to have.
No,
right?
we don't have sentinels. We don't have
Yep.
3 shadow swords, which is what I actually
We
want.
only have about 90, 100 infantry.
We need 120 to be real. And okay, let's talk about guard and ways you can play guard to make them better.
Yeah.
I think a brigade, weirdly enough, is the way to go right now.
Okay.
I think you want
I'm into that.
120 guardsmen.
Yeah.
And that lets you do these secondaries. And I think y'all got to get your command squads.
They're definitely pushing for it.
You need command
Which
squads.
I like.
It's so stupid.
I remember when the structure. I remember. Watch out.
You get a command squad for every commander, because that's what they were for.
That's what it was. And you would just spit on your opponent and make them surrender to you. The structure of their army was like more like the structure of the guard reflected more in your army, and it was like cool. Like of all of the armies to get additional like organizational complexity, I think the guard is like cool. That's part of it. Yeah. Like you're almost like role playing as guard when you organize your guys into different like regiments and you know whatever the actual term would be. That's cool. And I want that actually. Funny enough.
Right.
As we're coming to like seemingly a slowing down to that time period with this book here, where things are actually not so crazy complicated and there's not so many different layers. So
well, and with Nephilim, we're coming to army construction being very constrained.
Yes.
And so I would want to see guard have some ways around that, because you want triple battalion guard is how the game's supposed to be played.
Triple battalion?
Yeah.
Triple battalion.
Yeah.
Triple what?
That's not crazy. Not triple brigade.
That's what it
triple
used to be.
battalion is not unreasonable. You should have, hear me out,
It's pretty unreasonable.
a Tempestus Scions battalion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You should have a guard battalion of your core army.
Yeah.
And then another battalion, because you're guard.
No!
You should be triple battalion.
I like, in my mind, ideally, it's like brigade of guard and patrol of scions.
Patrol?
Okay, fine. Maybe a battalion. Maybe. But the other one's definitely a brigade. It's not
You
double
just
battalions.
made triple battalion, Adrian.
You
a
made triple
brigade.
battalion.
A brigade is 2 battalions smushed together.
Yeah, but it's you're justified because you have to pay the tax of having 3 in each slot, and it feels less gamey. You know, that's like the thing about a brigade. I think brigades are potentially interesting currently in Nephilim. I don't know that they actually are for most armies.
It's so hard to do for most armies.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I was again looking at GSC. I was like, oh, I do want more troops.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to take 3 heavy support.
No.
Right?
Nobody
It's like
wants
so close, but not good enough, which is a lot of armies. I think
Yeah.
orcs can do brigade. I think guard can do brigade. I think that's pretty much it. You know, maybe Eldar in certain builds with weapon
My
platforms.
sisters could build a brigade, they just don't want to. And I think Drukhari could build a brigade, they just don't want to.
Well, to be clear, every army, except for knights, can build a brigade
Custodes cannot build a brigade.
in 2K.
I don't think they can. I mean,
That's fair. That's
now
fair.
you can. No, 6 troops.
No, you can't. Okay, every normal army you could.
That's 900
most
points
of them you
just
don't
in
want to.
troops. And then you'll have like another 500 points in characters because you need 3 HQs. So 1,400 of your points are eaten up in troops.
Yeah.
You can't make a brigade of Custodes.
It'd be funny, like even if in some miracle you could like you could fit in the brigade's worth of stuff, it would actually just be a battalion. Like you wouldn't get to the 7th troops slot.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Gives you no benefits.
Exactly. So yeah, guard very difficult to collect, difficult to sort of build towards, and I'm curious to see in the new book how they approach that.
Yeah.
You know.
But also we have some CSM to talk about, because boy, should you not struggle against guard, and boy did you.
Despite how horrible it was
rough.
going for you, I was like
That was rough.
not
Not doing a whole lot better.
Yeah.
It was kind of
I'm
painful.
just glad everyone was looking at the guard, you know?
We were all laughing at how long my shooting phase
Yeah.
took to do nothing.
It's like, oh yeah, look at that guy. Ugh. Disco Lord, very disappointed. Yeah, I overlooked the strength thing because partially you assume, and secondarily because, yeah, it's +1 to wound with the chain glaive when you charge.
Right.
Strength 6? What? That's crazy.
It used to be strength 7, I think. Because you would wound most vehicles on 3s.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
That's what made it cool, and you would wound knights on 4s.
Yeah.
And they dropped it to strength 6.
The +1 damage against vehicles felt like bait. Like I feel baited by this book because like +1 damage against vehicles. That's crazy.
And you wound all vehicles.
But you can't wound them. Like, what does that matter?
Well,
here's the other thing. You also lost Demon Forge.
Right.
It's not full rerolls, hits, and wounds. It's like +1 to hit now.
That was not the kind of strat that I expected to see in 9th edition, so I think it's okay.
No, I know why it's gone, but like that was the thing. You have a Disco Lord, Demon Forge, Demon Forge, Demon Forge, you know? So very disappointed by him. Abaddon was amazing. I'm glad we got to show him off. Because last Saturday he didn't really get to shine.
It's the only model in your army that does anything.
Terminator's good. We like Terminators.
They are tough. They're durable.
To be fair, they had to pull their punches this game because I took that secondary again. And it was like, look, I have 4 Meltas and 2 Plasmas that could kill this tank, but I don't want to.
Right, right.
So what are they going to do? Shoot some guards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I stand by Terminators. I do.
Hey, look, they're a close second. They're a strong second to Abaddon.
And that's pretty much.
And that's Black Legion for you. Is Terminators and Abaddon. The Legionaries were dying to guard indirect.
So thinking about that more, I'm figuring out like who needs to be marked with what. Mm-hmm. You run out of points.
Zinch just busted, dude. Why is everybody not Zinch marked?
Zinch mark was really good.
Just feels absolutely unfair.
Extra AP?
No, just take the first failed save is 0 damage.
Oh, yeah.
On every squad?
Well, to be honest, the guys in the back, other than... Okay, so first of all, Master Possession.
Yeah.
I want him to be Slaanesh again.
Okay.
Take it back. I'm going back. And I would still take the Relic that lets me cast an additional power. So that way I always have Life Agnes.
Yeah.
The squads that were kind of sitting in the back or waiting for the Dark Gods, Nurgle. Because then 1 CP I can transhuman them. And suddenly all those things that were wounding on 2s almost do nothing to them. And that would have been night and day difference. So that was interesting kind of seeing when Nurgle, who I generally don't really like as a mark, becomes actually quite useful. These little 5-man squads sitting on points. And I like 1 block of Zinch, because you can also spend the extra strat for the extra AP.
Right.
Because again, Age of Art, Armor, Contempt. AP1 is nothing.
It's nothing,
AP2, now you're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That was a little rant.
It's a weird book. I think Black Legion is probably not the way to play them, but I think you do bring Abaddon with Emperor's Children, or you bring Abaddon... Like, he's kind of like a Gilman, where he's worth his points, and then the auras are good on top of that, but just already worth his points.
That's very probable. They just run out of space on the board. Like, I was a brick, and I kind of got away with playing a brick.
Yeah.
But
only because I was guard.
Only because you were guard.
And I think...
Makes me nervous.
You can't play that way as, like, Emperor's Children. But I think what you can do as Emperor's Children is just be a bunch of independent units, and Abaddon's just one of those independent units that hides behind somebody and then goes off and, like, punches somebody in the corner, and he's too far away for you to focus on him, and then he'll punch somebody else closer to the middle. I think that's how you play.
And that's what I do like about them, you know. 300. I wonder if I could clear up 300 points on my list. Possible. So, I agree. You know.
It's worth a thought.
Lots to still play around with, lots to unpack in this book. Of course, we'll play them again on Saturday. Zach with the Alpha Legion against the GSC, so that's going to be cool. MVP, real quick.
Well, I don't even...
It did nothing.
All right, which of these... Gatekeeper? The Gatekeeper on the Shadow Sword.
The Gatekeeper killed 1 Terminator.
Yeah, but it had the potential to kill the most Terminators.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I accept that answer.
At the highest high. And not the lowest low. So I'm going to go with the Gatekeeper on the Shadow Sword. Man, the Shadow Sword needs an updated profile because I remember it being God tier.
Well, it should ignore invulns if a...
it should now ignore
railgun does.
And now, flat 6 damage on a Shadow Sword is not impressive. You're like...
That's a Manir on Silent K.
Right. You're like, nah, it's kind of a dime a dozen. Like a Hammerhead does more than that. So.
You don't have flat 6 damage, right? You even try and play Warhammer. Yeah. And obviously on the Black Legion sides, it was Abaddon.
Yep, it's always Abaddon.
Anyways, if you guys have more questions about the game or the book, let us know. Other than that, we're going to dive on in and do the super chats.
All right, let's get into this. Sorry, hold on. Yep, okay. Thanks, Nunya. Let him go back in time and CP reroll the perils. No. He offered it. He offered it, and I refused.
Yeah.
I was not having it. I wasn't going to take it because, honestly, what changes? Yeah. I get a few secondary points, and that's it. I get a couple of interrogations.
Zippy zaps, yeah. And that's it.
And that's it.
Well, and frankly, even that's slightly optimistic.
Right, because you can deny.
I can deny.
You have normal denies, and you have world leaders denies.
Yeah. Because funny enough, something that I think we kind of forgot on Saturday was Abaddon has Mark of Corn.
Oh, so he can do it.
So he could have been like,
"Ah!" That's cool.
But we were like, where's the corn?
I didn't even think about that.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
God, he's just so good.
He's so good.
Abaddon is like the unit in this book. He's like...
Yeah. It's funny you said he's like Gilliman, because I think he plays like the narrative of Gilliman, which is like Gilliman gets woken up and everything's on fire.
Yeah.
And he's like, he like has this moment. He's like, okay, this is what we need to do. Do this thing, do this thing, blah, blah, blah. And he like does everyone's like things at the same time. Like that's what Abaddon has to do in this book and this army.
He has to actually do everybody's job.
Yeah.
He puts the whole team on his back and he's just riding off into the sunset.
He's like aiming their bolters for them. He's like, no, like this, and then like firing them. He like
and then he actually just takes all their bolters.
Yeah.
And he ends up looking like this.
Chat, you're totally right. You're the MVPs for today's game.
Yes. Chat MVP. Thanks, GT Probably. Hey, Titans. I decided to get into Drukhari 12 days ago. A few trades and purchases later, now have 4,000 points. Best 500 point list to get me started. 1,000 points.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Drukhari at 500. Drukhari is sub 2K are kind of mean.
They're super mean. Which makes the question a bit difficult to answer, right? I would play with, at 500.
Would you go Coven, Cabal, or Witch Cult?
I know.
Coven, Cabal, or Cult?
I wouldn't do Cabal, because you're going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
They have a few units that are stellar, and they kind of are very specialized.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to play with something that's going to be like a strong mainline troop. So that's going to be either Rax or Witches.
Mm-hmm.
The stronger of the two currently would be Rax. Funny enough, I can't believe I'm saying it. So here we are going to build two armies for you instead. So on the Rax side of things, Homunculus, 3x5 Rax, like a min squad of Grotesques, just so you can see how they do.
And that's 500 points.
And it's probably 500 points. If you can fit a Venom, take one Venom.
Right.
Witches, same exact thing, except witch squads in Venoms.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously no Grotesques, so I would, instead of that, take...
The Venoms. That's what... Venoms.
More Venoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could do 3 Venoms, a Succubus, 3x5 Witches.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
That's probably over 500 points.
And then the 1,000 point game, take these and
put them together. Look at that! We made it. What? It's pretty cool. I like what you did there.
Welcome to Drukhari, GT probably.
It's a deep book.
It's a very deep
lot
book.
to explore.
So much fun stuff.
Thanks, Mortifactors Miko. Hey guys, 6 Dreads, 3 Tanks, Space Marine list. What does it look like? Also, Hot Potato is a great pet name for Hellhounds. Can we make that a thing?
I think we can make that a thing.
I tried to make it a thing and it didn't work.
I was like, I don't want the potato. Like, I'm just gonna... Someone like tries to pass it to me and I'm like spatting it away. No! Go under the parachute umbrella again instead. The parachute rainbow.
This game was reminiscent of Thanksgiving a while ago when whoever was playing, it was you against Brian, and I think you were guard and Brian was Tau.
Yep.
And all your tanks just blew up on themselves, and that was it. That was the whole game. Was you just blew up on yourself.
And they're like, thanks for coming to Thanksgiving, everyone. That's Thanksgiving for me every year, but that year was particularly bad. The first year.
Yeah.
It's like a reoccurring episode.
We've had to get
horrible.
really abstract with Thanksgiving. We need more tanks in the game.
Well, that's a constant debate, right? And I'm sort of more like a hardliner on that. And Brian's like the other direction, and you're kind of like in the middle.
Well, I think we can't just do the same factions over and over.
We haven't yet.
But there need to be more tanks in the game. Because we already did Craftworld's Tau, Guard, Custodes, Space Marines as actual tanks.
Yeah. So I think we need to do Sisters.
They
Immolators, Exorcists, Castigators.
Okay.
So cool.
Sure.
Orcs again.
Oh, we did already do Orcs. Orcs was 6. Yeah. So we've done 6 actual tank lists.
We've done it 3 years now. I'm like looking at the...
Are Knights tanks? No.
No, definitely
Knights aren't
not.
tanks.
So I'm open to hover tank. Oh, we did Eldar. You said Eldar.
We did Craftworld. Yeah, I counted
Necrons,
Craftworld.
we could do Necrons. Doomsday Arcs. I'm totally on board with being tanks.
We should do that.
Monolith
is not a tank.
Is totally a tank.
It's a tank like in MMO style where it has a lot of wounds. But other than that, I don't think a monolith...
it's a big flying vehicle.
It's not.
Is it flying?
It's
Chat,
a building.
Is a monolith
It's an
a tank?
oversized building that happens to. No, it doesn't move. A monolith doesn't.
It does move.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of a pylon,
You're thinking of a pylon.
which is more of a
tank.
tank in some ways and less of a tank in others.
I think in every way it's less of a tank.
It's a bigger gun.
That's true.
Tanks have big guns.
Especially this one. Look, is that our like Thanksgiving this year? Did we just figure it out?
This is an abomination.
Famously, no demons. I'm like, can you actually see that?
Yeah, demons don't have tanks.
Demons don't have tanks.
GSC kind of have tanks.
GSC could be fun, but we never get a lot of them. Because I wouldn't want to like do GSC, but really we're just playing guard Brood Brothers.
Right.
That's lame.
That's
We'd
lame.
have to get like. Do the Ridge Runners count?
It's not a tank.
More like a buggy. We did play buggies in the Orcs. No, we didn't play buggies in the Orcs.
No, we played Grot tanks.
So it would just be Goliaths. Here's 20 Goliaths.
No, I think you could have like brood Lehman Russes. But then what do you play against that? That's like terrible.
Maybe like the year afterwards. You know, we could play them against squats. They better have tanks. That'll be cool.
Is a trike a tank?
Votan. No.
Trike's not a tank.
Trike is like not a tank.
It's not a tank.
Although if you think about it,
It's like a ridge
a
runner.
wheel is kind of like a lot of tank treads because it goes in a circle and it moves.
I was really curious to see where you were going with that.
I was trying to channel you in that moment. I don't know if it worked.
You didn't quite make it across the finish line.
Anyways, there was a question.
I think Grey Knights. We can do Grey Knights. Was there a question?
We didn't answer it.
There wasn't a
6
question.
dreads, 3 tanks, Space Marine list. What
Oh, there
does that
was a
look
question.
So, more Miko, that's like a very specific but non-specific question.
Well, it's Iron Hands.
Are we guessing his list?
I don't think we're guessing. He
making
just wants us to tell him the list. It's Iron Hands.
3 Vendreads, 3 Redemptors.
Yeah. And then the tanks, you can't fit 3 Kratos. I looked down at the Kratos and I was like, can you fit 3 Kratos? No, they're too expensive.
You could fit 1 and 2 Rhinos. For your dreadnoughts.
Your 3 tanks.
How many points do you have left at that point?
What are
Let's
the
see.
impulsors that have guns now?
Impulsors that have guns now.
They turn the impulsor into a tank?
Oh, the Gladiator.
Gladiators.
Oh, okay.
I think 3 gladiators is what you have points for at the end.
Yeah, let me total this.
It's not, well, I don't know.
How much is a Vendread? 125?
They're pretty cheap, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like less than 1,000 points for the dreads.
But then you need 2 Tech Marines. Because you gotta have 2 Tech Marines. You definitely can't fit 3 Kratos. I think that thing's like 300 something points.
300 and...
Are you in Battlescribe? Or are you...
I'm on my calculator.
Okay.
Look, you can almost fit 3 Kratos. So you could do 2 Kratos. What if it was blank?
I thought...
I was just playing with numbers, okay? Look what I made of the spell when you turn it upside down.
I think gladiators. 3 gladiators,
yeah.
and then you can actually have troops and play the game.
Yeah, that's the real answer. It's true.
All right. Thanks, Connoisseur. I want to see them booties clap.
Oh, that's good. I hope we delivered.
We did do that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Baden. Use this to pay for a box to put the remains of those 2 astropaths in. Look, there's nothing left. Okay, they are just a fine film upon the people around them.
Oh my god. That's like a
rough.
relic now, is like the ashes of those 2 astropaths. It's not even the skull.
And Abaddon has it.
Yeah.
He's got just a pile of dust, and he's like, I'm gonna keep this. That's pretty cool.
That's the kind of thing he would keep.
Remember when that shadow sword fell from the sky and had all those weird guns on it? That was pretty cool.
It took like an uncomfortably long amount of time to kill everyone around me. And then that weird centaur guy came down and also did nothing.
He just kind of looked at me. It
Weird
was
day.
uncomfortable. Thanks, Ickbard. I have a very dumb guard idea.
All right. Well,
Mordian conscript spam to +1 for +1 to Overwatch. Pay 3 CP Overwatch on 5s, and then yeet 10d6 grenades, and also a Baneblade.
and also a Baneblade. Look, I love it.
I think conscript spam, if you have the back for it, if you can play, if you're fast enough, You're good enough with dice management, and you have the back for it. Conscript spam is probably the strongest iteration of Guard right now.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because Hammer of the Emperor is an incredibly strong ability.
And you just have like a crazy.
And you just roll so many dice.
Okay. Okay.
Remember when dice apps were like vaguely legal? Like people were kind of okay with using dice apps?
Yeah.
You would kind of need it for this.
Yeah.
But I've seen, the only Guard results I've seen on any events, anywhere, is Conscript spam.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Look, I'm into it.
It's just a lot of OBSEC bodies that are hard to move.
It plays the secondaries.
It plays the secondaries. It does more damage than the rest of card lists. Like,
So weird.
Hammer the Emperor, really good in a world of 0-up saves. You just roll a lot of last gun shots.
1 out of 6 shots will fail.
Yeah. So I don't give it a shot, Ekbard.
Yeah.
I don't know if Overwatch is the thing to lean into.
No, certainly not, because they'll probably be dead before then.
Yeah. Also, that's too many dice to roll, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, we're worried about rolling the normal shooting attack dice.
Yeah.
But I like it, Ikbard.
And thanks, Josh. Hey, guys.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks for another great game. Bridger, do you know if Fireslayer heads would work on Munda models? I believe that's Necromunda. Would like Mohawks on DRG themed squats? Oh, that's a cool idea.
That's cool.
I think it would work. They're gonna be a little large, the heads,
Yeah.
for the Necromunda scale of game.
Yeah.
My recollection of Necromunda models is they tend to be slimmer and like old GW scale. And Fireslayers are not old GW scale. They're quite large.
Yeah.
So the heads might be a little big, but give it a shot. I will warn you, all the heads look the same. All Fireslayers are indistinguishable from each other. The characters have cool heads, but that's an expensive way to build the Necromunda army. The Flamekeeper has the triple Mohawk. That's really cool.
So sick.
It's very cool.
What you could possibly do is just take the Mohawk, shave it down a bit to fit on a head.
All the Mohawks are built into helmets.
Yeah, you cut off the helmet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did it for some Dire Avenger thing. To like a regular. Oh, I put on like a Space Marine. I wanted like crest. And the Dire Avenger ones are very big. I wanted to fit on the Space Marine. So shaved it down. It's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
you know, if the heads are too big, you could do that at least. So.
But yeah, I mean, I'd give it a shot, but I think it'll be a little large. I think it'll be a little large.
Yeah.
That's my estimate.
Hey, look, new Emperor. We
What's
will
up?
see you soon in the next video. We'll put you up on the wall. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I can't read. It's like a series of letters and numbers.
Yes.
And then great speed.
Great speed. Welcome, great speed.
Welcome, great speed. I hope you've been enjoying this nonsense.
Look, if this is what decided you to become an emperor, you're in for a treat.
It's a lot of this on Tuesdays. Thanks, Deathnum. Hey, Titans. What do you think of the Night Lord's Legion trait? The wording makes it seem like leadership debuff stacks and could be more viable.
Yeah, I think it totally 100% stacks. I think it is more powerful than people give it credit for.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a thing. Especially if people have less CP to ignore stuff.
Yeah.
Frankly, there's even like a generic warlord trait that's built in. That's like, oh, you need to have them roll the 2 dice, pick the lowest, and all that stuff. We haven't dug into it yet, but we do have Night Lords, and we will. But I think people are sleeping on it, if I'm honest. But I do need to find the book.
The book's right there.
There
you go.
Chapter. The Legion. While enemy units within 9 of this unit, subtract 2 from leadership if characters small that units. Well, so yeah, I might take it back.
Oh, does it now stack?
Unfortunately, so the way it's written, yes, but I believe so. Again, this came up on Tuesday because the Venom Crawlers also have a aura of giving +1 to cast, and it says friendly models within 6 inches of this model get +1 to cast. And chat was like, oh, but there is now a generic rule that says
you can't affect the same. Yeah.
Can't stack. So unfortunately, it does not. Which I'm just remembering now because of Tuesday's game. So, you know, for better or worse. But there are other ways to reduce it, I think, in this book. -2 is still good, honestly. And -1 from combat attrition. That's what you want.
That's big.
That's the spiciness right there. So, Yeah, I still think people are sleeping on them. We'll play them more once you kind of come around back to the book.
Thanks, Nick. Greetings from Rogues Island.
Whoa.
Do you know where that is?
No, but it sounds cool.
Yeah. 3 Quickles. Quickies?
Quickies.
3 Quickles.
All right, rapid fire.
A Cypher Fallen army. Is a Cypher Fallen army viable?
Oh.
That's Quickle number 1.
I don't know. There's not rules for him for Fallen beyond just him in this book, right?
He's not in that book, is he?
He is in this book.
Oh.
But I don't think.
So there aren't new Fallen rules, though?
I don't think so.
They don't have like a section?
Well, there was a time where there was the Fallen unit, but that seems to be gone.
Then how do you even
Unless
play
they
Fallen?
came out with the White Dwarf recently. I feel like this isn't the first question I've got. So, chat, if you know something that we don't, could you let us know? Because, yeah, to my knowledge, it's just him. And I think he's cute. Zach is very excited for him.
Zach's excited for Cypher?
It's a very Zach unit to be excited for.
Does he, like, pick him up, put him down?
So he is...
Oh, this is the guy with the 2 pistols.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about
We
this
talked
guy.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's that guy. He's 90 points. He's cheap.
I think he's great.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to play Fallen Army. I just think you play Cypher because he's just good.
Yeah, he just goes with stuff. So.
And he's the real Dark Angel. Quickle number 2, how about a Slaanesh CSM Chaos Demon double patrol? Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah?
Well,
you
okay.
soup demons and...
I'll say this. Because currently, the Slaanesh icons, below side, does stack with the demon stuff in here. So it's advance and charge in a bubble.
Oh.
So that could be spicy,
That's
frankly.
quite good.
You know,
That's
the
quite
demon
good.
stuff is good, and it can all advance and charge if you have one here. So I think there's definitely a list you can make that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it has to have keepers. It could just have a character blocked the mirror or something, right? And then they can't be shot. So yes, 100%. Who will be the next Primarch? I mean, my money's on Angron still, because we know that Legion is coming. So
It's got to be Angron.
that's where my money is.
And that was Quickle number 3. We got through all
did all the Quickles.
all 3 Quickles.
Fallen rules were republished in the White Dwarf a while ago. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with it. Sorry. We should find that White Dwarf so we have it. Try to get all the new rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to get paper copies. That one's old enough. I think it's on the app.
No, because it would be, if it's too old, it won't be. Well,
No, you're right. I have it backwards.
Right, exactly. I've been buying all
Have it
of them. So like
backwards.
the World Eater when I went out, every time they release one with rules, I've been buying it for the studio just so we have, because they don't have digital ones.
Your mic fell. And chat wants to know why I'm louder than you.
Oh.
It's because your mic fell way down.
It fell.
It's party mic now.
Party mic. Oh, party mic, not now.
Prison mic.
No. Hello.
Thanks, Liberty Fires. Titans. Sorry, I've been away. Was on holiday in Chicago doing non-Warhammer things. Need to
worries.
catch up on things such as Adrian, top 3 Tim Curry rolls. Go.
Top 3 Tim Curry roles. Oh my God, Liberty Fire is so good at this. Obviously, Rocky Horror. Dr. Frankfurt in Rocky Horror. He was the only good thing in Legend, but that's potentially interesting.
I Am Legend? That was a Will Smith movie.
No, Legend is a weird movie
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
that you won't like.
TV show from the 90s.
So I will pick it for him, but not for the actual movie, because the movie is not my favorite. So that's 2 of them. And then, hold on. It's got to be Long John Silver from Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh, okay.
That's like legitimately, those are my top 2. And Legend is like, yeah. But I did appreciate him as the magician in Lark Rise to Candleford season 3. You gotta know your Tim Curry.
What is Adrian talking about?
Lark Rise to Candleford. It's like this British show about like British people in like the 1800s.
We're talking about movies, aren't we? Oh no, I just rolls.
No, it's just like
So
a
any
TV show,
roll.
and then all of a sudden they're like, and then this magician comes into town. You're like, whoa, it's Tim Curry.
Wait, Tim Curry was in Red Alert?
He was in Red Alert. So he was in Red Alert 3.
That's gotta make the list, dude.
I know, no. So it's
That's
like
gotta make
it's
the
like
list.
on the list as like a meme.
That's gotta make
But again, it was like unequivocally terrible. But
Yeah, but that makes it better.
okay, that's number 3. That's number 3.
All right, we did it. We did it.
The first 2 are far and away the best, though.
And I hope you had a good time in Chicago, dude.
Yeah.
Now's a good time of year to be in Chicago. Because it's the opposite of winter. Winter in Chicago is rough.
There you go. I just had my friend from Chicago visiting here.
Whoa.
And he hadn't seen the channel or anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Did you show him around?
I showed him around. I showed him the studio, showed him stuff. I think last time he was here, it was like just kind of starting.
Right.
So I don't think it really fully read.
Was he impressed?
He was impressed.
Nice.
Yeah. And then he has a friend that watches the show, so hello.
Hey. There you go. Thanks, Ian. Just because Tau are vegan. This was when we were talking about being a Tau player is comparable to being a vegan in the way that you interact with other people and the way they perceive you.
I like that Ian put Tau in all caps.
And then vegan is capitalized. Not all caps,
It's appropriately capitalized.
Vegan's not a proper noun. You don't capitalize vegan.
Are vegan. Yeah, because it's an adjective. Well,
you could be a vegan,
noun,
but it's not a proper
noun.
noun.
It's not a proper noun, yeah.
You don't Look, Ian, get your capitalization straight, okay?
Are Tau actually vegan?
I don't think.
I
wouldn't know. I feel like that's something that's a narrative that's been pressed upon the Tau, like the whole communist thing, which I think it's fine to put that narrative on them because it's hilarious, but none of that is canon.
I don't like the communist thing because it's just like not generally true.
Right, but I think the vegan thing is also
like
a meme that just got pushed on Tau. I don't think there's any supporting evidence.
Okay. This is the first time I've heard about vegan Tau.
It's just another one of those things where it's like, the blueberries, they do those silly things. So people just, right?
The Ultramarines?
No, Tau or blueberries.
They're blueberries?
They're blue. Adrian, Tau or blue.
No, I know, I get that.
hate to break it to you.
I've never heard anyone say these things. Never in my life.
You should. I'm not going to advise you to spend more time on the internet because it's not a pleasant place.
Thank you. You know what? I consider myself cultured. Like, you've made me more cultured, and I didn't have to waste my life.
I filtered.
Thank you.
I filtered the internet for you.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Steven. Long-time watcher, first-time captain.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome.
We are lucky to have you, Steven.
Love being on the Discord and watching people's hobby progress, but I can't wait to watch Alpha Legion play. Yes. Now that you're captain, you can go back and watch Tuesday when Alpha Legion played.
Check out Tuesday's game.
Too impatient to see them on Saturday.
Yeah. And Zach is super excited to play them on Saturday against the GSC. It's going to be a sneak off. We're very excited. There's so much in this book. So much.
It's a big book.
So big thank you, Steven. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. We have Love, Marry, Kill, 40K AOS Horse Heresy.
Oh, no, the kid.
No, it's not that hard. I'd kill Horse Heresy.
Yeah.
I would love 40K and marry AOS. And here's my reasoning.
Okay.
40K is very up and down.
Yeah, that's
It would be a rocky marriage. Whereas as like a lover, I can have a great time with 40K and then walk away. And then come back.
Yeah.
And they're still there. And I can see how things are. Be like, now I'm going to wait a bit, go back to AOS.
Right.
My marriage, stable marriage that I'm cheating on with 40K.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
That's fair. I sadly would probably also kill Horus Heresy because they're just like not entrenched enough yet. And then I'm kind of the opposite. Like 40K is like, it's got its good times, it's got its bad times, but it's always been there for me and I'll be there for it, you know?
So you have the opposite perspective on
I do.
Whether a lover or a spouse should be the like...
Well, you don't want to be like a fair weather person. Like, oh, things are good, so like here I am, and things are bad. So I think, here's the question.
Maybe I do want to be like that.
You are...
No, Mel, you have work to do.
Hi, Mel.
No, go to your work.
In the other room.
I'm just curious to see this response.
Ugh. What I was going to say reflects more on Bridger than it does on me, not you, is like, because you're saying that 40K is being bad to you.
Right now.
And I'm saying that 40K is having tough times. And so I'm there for it.
They need your help.
Exactly.
40K needs your help.
Exactly. And AOS is like, it's like a good time Sally. It's like, we're going to
go
But it's
always a good time. Why wouldn't you just marry Good Time Sally, who's always a good time?
I love AOS, but like sometimes I really just need to like get into the nitty gritty of the game, and AOS doesn't always scratch that for me.
That's when you go and kill
I'll
Horus
go to a
Heresy.
party with AOS, you know, all that stuff. I'll go, you know.
Okay.
So
look, to me, it's funny because AOS is more spiky of a game when you're playing it, but the macro experience of AOS is less spiky to me. It's less like visceral in terms of swings of what you're supposed to, how you're supposed to feel about it.
Yeah.
So that's my stable, it's my rock.
Yeah.
AOS is largely unchanging.
Yeah.
It moves a little bit, but yeah, I can grow with AOS.
I respect that.
I can grow with AOS. But 40K is just like, flailing.
Crazy.
40K is a one-night stand in its essence. That's what 40K is.
Hey, you heard it here, folks.
So there you go.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate the fun question.
Thanks, Not So Average Joe. Hey Titans, just started a new job as a technical artist.
Oh.
And wanted to say thanks for all the entertainment you guys have gave through school. Also, would a cultist heavy Alpha Legion list have any legs?
Dude, technical artist is such a cool job. Like, that's like one of the jobs that if I wasn't doing this,
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah?
So cool. Yeah.
What is, I probably should know.
So
but-
I have worked as a technical artist for things like Unity and game engines and stuff. So it's like essentially you're involved in the creative process, but you're working on the more technical side of things. So Unity, for example, is a game engine. So like you are kind of being the liaison between like artists, like doing like purely artwork and drawing whatever, and like maybe like the programmers and stuff. And so you like know the engine, you know how things work. You're not super like not low level, but you know you're not working within the code itself always. So it's very technical, but it's also creative. It's a really cool and interesting place to be in many different industries.
Sounds cool.
So I'm a big fan.
You know what we have in not gaming? We have PMs.
PMs.
Product managers?
PMs, they have PMs too.
No, but PMs don't. It's much
They
better
don't
to
know
have
anything.
a person, right? Instead of having a liaison that knows a little bit of both sides and is able to combine them, you have a PM who knows nothing about either side. Both sides hate the PM, and the PM hates both sides.
Sounds like a good system.
Great. Welcome to business.
Welcome to business.
Cultist heavy Alpha Legion. What do you think?
So, I will say this.
We did just get some gifted memberships
hello.
from
Can you read the name?
Mr. Noisy.
Mr. Noisy, thank you again
Thank you
for
so much.
5 more. We're not adding another turret. Turrets are done.
No, I'm gonna go get.
You
what
should
am I
get
gonna
another
get?
turret.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
a plane.
You get another turret.
No, I'm getting a plane.
This is more a question for me anyways. So cultists are in a weird spot right now. I think because cultists they're not OBSEC, you only take them in certain legions. And that is legions that can get them to perform actions, legions that can give them objectives secured, legions that can have certain strats based around them. So like Iron Warriors, for example. Alpha Legion, surprisingly, like Zach and I were going through it, have less things to synergize with cultists than we expected, and certainly less than they used to. But I'm a big fan. I'm becoming very interested in the accursed cultists because I think they cost like a single point more, and they get AP and melee, and you get these the cool big ones, and you ignore morale for losing the small ones. I think that's not a turret. That's a whole fire raptor.
Yeah, well.
Well, Brian is watching, so he'll appreciate that. So accursed cultists are very interesting, and so that's just some general thoughts on cultists and kind of how I would approach it. Let's see, troops. Cursed cultists, yeah, there's 6 points. Regular cultists are 5. So I'm not normally one that says, why is GW making one clearly better than the other to sell them both? I'm not saying that's what it is, but like, why would you get normal cultists when you could get a cursed cultists? So what would it look like? I would look for, one thing cultists are good for is trading on points. Doing that little swapperino, they're good for screening. So I'd probably run a couple min squads, and maybe those are regular cultists because you just want to trade them, throw those 50 points away, whatever.
Yeah.
But Legionnaires are only like 65 base, so I'm still like impressed for that. But what I am interested in is a couple bricks of accursed cultists.
Well, it's 5 bodies versus 10. If you're trying to nab an objective, it does make a difference.
But you're not OBSEC.
Cultists aren't OBSEC?
Nope. That's what I was, sorry, you missed that part. Cultists are not OBSEC.
I was getting a Fire Raptor.
Which is like, what do you use them for now? And it's funny, like in the Alpha Legion, one of the warlord traits is like pick a unit, and they get OBSEC. So I was like, great, you can make cultists OBSEC. Nope, it doesn't work on cultists. Long story short.
What?
And it's like, well, that's a missed opportunity.
That's
So I think it's a couple of bricks of these
Dumb.
accursed cultists
That's dumb.
that you make kind of durable and you kind of ebb and flow. They have the amazing strat. They have the not the Poxwalker strat. It's more like the Tyranid strat where you return like a bunch of models.
Oh.
And that behooves you to have a big squad.
So
where you
Tide
can't
of
kill
Traitors became
Yes.
the reanimation type dealie.
That's really
the
good.
Poxwalker thing.
That's really good. So I would go with that. I would go with the support characters, and then frankly from there you still will have to play. I don't think you can do like a primarily cultist army anymore. They've just removed like every synergy. They don't have core. They don't have OBSEC.
Well.
All that stuff. So that's kind of the core, and then you have to build a more normal list around it, I think. So one thing you can do is you can combine legionaries or actual obsec things with cultists. The cultists basically give you extra bodies on the points once you have obsec there. So, yeah.
We have a cultist have obsec question mark? If they didn't, that would be embarrassing. But there have been times in the game where they didn't have obsec. So.
Don't they not have obsec?
I don't know anything about this new book.
Who told me this?
Abaddon's a beater. I know that.
Oh, man.
He beats things. Hey, great speed.
I hope I'm wrong.
Thank you so much. We're going to get to that.
Thank you.
We'll be right there.
Cultists in CSM do have OPSEC. Oh. What? Okay.
10 bodies versus 5.
Back on the cultist train.
Back to cultists.
Cool. Cultists. I like them. They're pretty good because they have OPSEC, so make sure you take them. I just gave like a whole tirade, too.
Full reversal.
Full reversal.
Yeah.
No, they're not crazy because they just still don't have core, and a lot of the synergies don't still work on them. But they're good for the trading trade stuff.
Do the combat cultists guy, the new models, do those have core? Or sorry, do those have OPSEC?
The accursed ones?
Do they have OPSEC?
Yeah, so maybe they don't have it.
Because that would make it a compelling trade-off between
Right,
the two.
because you're getting some melee and all that stuff.
I like how the chat's still talking about PMs.
That's what's important. Oh yeah, they also have a 6 up Feel No Pain.
The accursed
The
guys?
accursed ones.
But are they troop slot?
Yeah.
Then they have OPSEC.
Yeah, looks like they have OPSEC. Yeah, so I like it. So I still would do maybe two or three. I'm saying 3 now because they actually do have OPSEC. That's good. 2 or 3 little tradie squads, and then a couple big bricks. Again, be bringing them back. Which again, Cursed Cultists, they also do natively. It's pretty good. So, and then you kind of build around that. They still don't have core, so you can't build a whole list. But it's a great start. All right, well, let's move on from that embarrassing.
Sometimes your opinions just change. And that's how you know
Someone told me they don't have OPSEC.
you have an open mind. Thanks, Nick. Bridgers should get a Baneblade Strategic Reserve. We did one better. We gave me a Shadow Sword, deep struck 3 inches away. And count is not moving.
That's right. I like it.
Thanks, Ieston. Oh, we did this one. This is one we did during the game. But thanks again, Ieston. It was a wild ride. Thank you so much. You've been very generous. And thanks everybody who gifted memberships, and thanks everybody for watching. Like, we couldn't do this without you.
You guys make it happen, honestly. And thank you, Ieston, for your immense generosity. So, thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. As a Space Wolf successor, is it worth 1 CP for Relic and then 1 CP trophy bestowed to make that a chapter relic to get Armor of Russ? Is it worth 2 CP? No. I would say no. I think my instinct is no.
You can do Fight Last with Psychic.
Yep.
And
Bring a Judicia.
Yeah, 2 CP is pretty. It's a lot.
2 CP is a lot. What are you putting it on that you can't spend the 90 points for Judicia?
I think a lot of things, to be honest.
What is it so important to have it on? For 2 command points?
Well, you can put it on a character that's actually good for once.
Whoa. All right. Hold up. You can't put it on any of the named characters, which are their best characters.
They are pretty good. But I don't actually hate like a Wolf Lord. They've been pretty good. Like, I fought Jesse's Wolf Lord, and it's like pretty scary.
They're pretty good,
And
yeah.
he has Armor of Russ.
Yeah.
So to me,
Maybe.
compared to the Judiciary, it's interesting. But like, because you have the spell, 2 CP is a lot.
2 CP is a lot.
So I would say.
I've always said Space Wolf players are trying to get too many fight lasts, and they just need to chill out. 1 or 2. 1, maybe 2, like a conditional 2. Like a spell is a conditional 2.
1 is the magic number.
Yeah.
Because that lets you engage on a couple of different fronts.
Yeah.
So I would try it with just the spell, and then if that gives you trouble, then try the 2 CP. But I think gut reaction is not worth it.
Yeah. Thanks. Liberty Fires, Bridger, top 3, Tabletop Titans emotes. Go.
Oh.
I think Bob Ross Zach. They did a great job.
Bob Ross Zach.
That one's excellent. The Nurgling, I think, is underloved. Underappreciated, the Nurgling.
That's fair.
I really like the Nurgling. And
is it that one? Does that one make a cut?
I like Custodes. And I like looking at money. But it's
That's not what that means.
It's just not often that you have the opportunity to use an emote like this. It can't make top 3.
Okay.
Because when are you going to use it?
That's part of your metric. I appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. I think Bob Ross Zach can
Wait.
be used for a lot of things.
Okay.
What was my second answer? Nurgling. Look,
Nurgling is
I
just a
think
smiley face. is what it is.
Nurgling might be underused because people don't know when to use it.
It's true.
Might
Just
be
like the
underappreciated.
yeah.
Sweat Smile. I use Sweat Smile all the time.
Ooh.
For everything.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, hey, can you take another interview? And I'm like, Sweat Smile.
Oh my God, that is such a Bridger response. He's like, oh, yikes. There we go. Getting some in chat now.
Oh, the exploding Gets Hot Plasma was
Gets
also
Hot is so good.
really good.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Stress John. I like Stress John, but I do understand what everybody says that it looks like me. I get it. I get it.
So it's a weird thing because technically John's hair actually has like a wave to it, but like that's not how any of us think of his hair.
Right.
Because he actually like combs it or whatever. He like does it in a way, so it looks more flat. Yeah, let us know what your favorite emoji is. Just put it in the chat.
Just put your favorite emoji in chat.
Put it
And
in the chat.
just keep putting it in chat.
Yeah. So I think it's a fair critique. Yeah. The next John emoji will definitely be an anime one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need like, I don't even, how do you, we'll figure it out.
How do we make it anime?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we hire an artist.
That's a good point.
We don't have to figure that out.
I take your point. Thanks, Benny. We need more guard streams.
Yeah,
apparently. And then Hard Eyes. Yeah. Look, we still have to try Scions, and we have to try Super Heavy. So we have 2 Nephilim things to do with guard before they get a new book.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get 2 guard games before they get a new book.
Scions because I really like their vehicles. I like their trucks a lot.
Tauroxes are
Tauroxes
very good. With Armor Contempt.
and Hammer.
Whew.
That's spicy.
Tauroxes. Look, pure
That feels-
Scions might actually be better than pure guard right now.
Yep. Take a patrol of regular guard.
Take a patrol. For what? What did guard need in
A full
stupid?
payload Manticore.
Okay, all right. That's legit.
And a tank commander with a gate wedding crasher.
With the Wedding Crasher, yeah.
Yeah.
The Gatekeeper.
Pretty good.
Are you the Keymaster? Thanks, Steven. As a new Chaos player, is Abaddon a good option for most Chaos armies with the CP and buffs he gives? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful about shoehorning him. I think there's certain lists where
Dude.
people...
I would take him with Chaos Knights.
I don't know.
He stands behind a Chaos Knight. Probably the one that can't you can't reroll against.
Yeah.
And then you're never going to get through that knight and into Abaddon. And now you have a 9-wound Abaddon that's guaranteed to gets there. And 3 wounds per phase, and he already got all the way up the board without taking any wounds? Dude, he's a nightmare.
No, I don't know.
He's a nightmare.
I think there's certain cases where it's not. Like, where it's like people like lean into that so hard. And it's just like, well, you still have to be able to play the game, you know?
Yeah, I
It's
think
like that.
Chaos Knights had already given up on playing the game.
Chaos Knight.
Yeah. I think they're just in it to win it.
No, I don't
They're
think
just there to punch you in the face.
They can play the game. They can play the
They can, but how many Chaos Knight players are playing the game?
Oh, well, if that's the argument. I have many things to say.
Look, we can't get them to play the game, but we can give them an Abaddon.
You know what? That's fair. I'm happy for them.
Thanks, Steven. Cadia stands.
Yes.
Is that what I was struggling to say? Something broke before the guard did.
Adia broke before the guard did.
There you go.
Is what you were supposed to say.
Oh, well.
3 hours ago. It's like very well known.
No,
All the guard players are like, I'm done here.
The planet fell apart. It crumbled before the Astra Militarum was crippled.
Somehow, a lot less catchy.
Thanks, Rice Boy. Very glad to see the Kratos near the... I don't know. Oh, Falchion Super Heavy Tank Destroyer.
Oh, yes.
I own 2. One for my White Scars and one for my Iron Warriors. Hope the Chaos gets one in 40k, though.
Yeah, I was going to ask. They don't have a Chaos one, do they?
Chaos Kratos?
Rules for 40k.
That would be weird because it's the same. Why would they not?
Why would they not exactly? In fact, they're more likely to have it because they're legions.
Right. That's weird to me. If they don't have it,
They should.
that's weird, and I think they should.
Yeah. Yeah. definitely.
You have 2 Kratoses?
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Do you run them as all Volkite? What do you run them as?
Yeah, let us know. Well, he's probably thinking about 40K.
I don't know. I mean,
Actually,
either
I
way.
don't know.
Either way, I would love to hear how you kitted them out.
Let us know.
Because they have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And in 30K, the options are very strange.
We're going to do Melta and then all heavy bolters, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to do Melta Cannon. Because it just seems like it's always good. It's always going to do something effective. And then heavy bolters because it's fists.
Naturally. Makes
But
sense.
if it weren't fists, I would be at a loss as to what to put where. It has so many options.
Yeah.
Because you have the little guns and the medium guns and then the big gun. And then you got the hatches, which is the same as everything else that has hatches.
Right.
Because it's just the hatch sprue.
I just love that you can put a heavy bolter on a rhino.
Yeah, of course.
That's so cool.
There's a dude sticking on the top. It's got to have a bolter.
Yeah, but in 40K, it's like lame
no,
stuff. Like
40K is
on the
lame.
bolters.
That's why.
Yeah, this is way cooler.
Remember, we chose to kill Horus.
I think we killed the wrong person.
Thanks, Benny. I've been doing well with my guard. 3 tank commanders and Pask with 100 infantry and 2 manticores is very strong. Also, Relic of Cadia is auto-include right now with Death Guard, Chaos, and Chaos Knights.
Yeah.
That is fair. I didn't want to, I was pretty much already very strongly tailored between having Vengeance for Cadia and the Gatekeeper.
Right.
I didn't want to go wild with Relic of Cadia because that's just mean.
You were kinder than John. John always...
You just take the Relic of Lost Cadia? Wow. I mean, guard does need the help, but I think I might have steamrolled you.
Yeah.
This game was close enough.
I was in danger of... I was in danger.
We were both on the brink for the whole game.
Yeah. But yeah, I think competitively, I like this a lot. 3 commanders, Pask.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pask.
So it's
Holy moly.
two battalions.
It's something we've been saying for a while. Like we need more infantry. You know, we fill up the battalion. We still want more.
We almost have 100, but it's like
Don't we have 60?
no, we have more than that. There's still more on the shelf.
Oh no, I mean in the list we've been running. It's just
Yeah, we've
60.
been running 60 because we have been running 1 battalion. I think we have almost 100 guardsmen, but you really want, it's like Plague Marines. You really want to get the free upgrades that you want. So we only have 6 las cannons,
Let's see.
and we only have 2 plasma. I think we need a lot more plasma because it's just the best. It's just the best.
It's the best.
There's no better special weapon than plasma. But yeah, no, I think spamming a bunch of infantry is where guard is best.
Yeah.
You're running no transports, which is a little weird to me, but
I think the transports are so difficult here because the squads are so cheap. Like literally, the transport costs more than the unit that it transports.
yep.
Which is a very awkward dynamic.
But the transport, yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I want 2,500 points for guard. That would feel good.
Did somebody just say Basilisk is better than Manticore with Armor of Contempt? No. No. Incorrect.
Nope. I don't know if I agree with you on that one.
Strong disagree.
Yeah.
D3 damage is not flat 3, and D6 twice, take the highest, is not 2D6, and Strength 9 is not Strength 10. There's a lot of trade-offs between those 2 models. It's tough.
Yeah. And they're all in favor of the
No, 1 is in favor of the Basilisk.
versus 3
AP3.
upsides on another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can only have 1 full payload Manticore.
Right.
Well, I guess technically you could have 2, but you have 3 tank commanders, so.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
I like it, Benny.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Which Marine chapter makes most use of primaries? That's not a. There's no. Nope. Nope.
Not the non-codex compliant ones.
Right. So not Blood Angels, not Space Wolves, not Dark Angels. After that, nope. They're all nope.
Yeah. All the core ones make pretty much equal use. So I would just pick one of those.
Here, I'm gonna cop out White Scars because you can just run a bunch of Assault Intercessors and it's pretty legit.
Yeah, you're excited about that still, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty legit.
We're going back to our roots, our 9th edition roots.
Yep.
Best army in the game.
Look, it's been almost 2 years, okay? I think we can't be held to what we said 2 years ago.
I have people that still comment on it. And to their credit, I guess, some of them are like, this is the not creditor, but like, this isn't true. This is terrible. I'm like, yeah, this was a 2 years old video. But some people are like, yes, this was very helpful. I'm like,
oh, okay.
I mean, maybe some of the Space Marine stuff is still relevant because it's still Space Marines, but some of these other factions.
A lot has changed since then.
The Drukhari, no, we didn't do a Drukhari video, right? Like the Orc video?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would look at when a video was made. Thanks, Phil Roy. Hey guys, getting into Drukhari covens and want to kit bash a female homunculus for my warlord. Any suggestions for base model to get started? Love the show. Jane Czar? Is that?
Thanks. Yeah, Jane Czar.
Is it always Jane Czar?
God, Jane Czar, she just makes such good conversions.
It's just Jane Czar, right?
She's dynamic. She's cool. Female homunculus. That's a good question. The things I immediately try to think of is like, what AOS models?
Oh.
Right? Is there a cool Edeneth lady?
I would go Death for homunculus. Who's the Wolf Lord lady? Wolf lady.
Oh.
Bellatrix?
Belladonna.
That was close.
You
Belladonna.
put that together.
Yeah.
But she's like riding on a wolf. She sits on a wolf.
Okay. It's a homunculus.
That has to fit on like this big of a thing.
They have a weird pose. No, take the wolf off.
Take the wolf.
She's just like squatting.
I would, take her off, but have her sitting on like the back of a rack or like a grotesque.
Oh.
She's like, nah.
If you could have a rack like on all fours and she's sitting on it, that would be really cool.
And you have to balance it on a 25.
Look, I have faith.
Something there.
You'll figure it out. Look, you'll figure it out, man.
Necromunda. Wow, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
The
Necromunda.
the game that I play with all the ladies.
With the crazy hair?
Yeah, what are they called?
You think I know this?
Anyways, they make for good conversions for Drukhari kind of stuff. So they definitely look there.
The not penitent engine, the vampire engine, and mortis engine.
Yeah.
The mortis engine can alternatively be built with witches on it. It's a different
Vampires,
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty cool.
They are cool. They are cool.
I would go with them.
You'd have to once again. They're all sitting.
They're not all sitting. One of them standing. One of them standing. Two are sitting. One is standing.
No, I think they're
One
all
of them standing. And she's like, yeah.
No, she's lounging. She's like this.
There's 3 builds of the mortis engine. There's the mortis engine, and then there's 2. There's one with a cauldron.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the other one is.
So there's the.
But the lounging one, I think is the other one, and the cauldron one is. Maybe. Escher.
some ideas.
You were Escher gang.
Escher, thank you. Gosh, we need to play some Necromunda.
Look, man, there's a lot of female models out there that are cool. You don't even have to use GW products. You can look for anything you want.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot out there. So Rice Boy.
This is for Phil Roy.
No, but Rice Boy did at us.
They did?
So we need
Where?
to scroll up a bit.
What?
It's gone now.
That?
Also, Chaos does not have access to the Kratos in 40K yet. Locked to Loyalist currently. Hopefully it gets updated.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's so weird. It makes no sense. Oh, Dr. Kane. Dr. Kane for Homunculus.
That came to mind, but like...
Queen. You'd have to gross her up a bit.
Yeah, they're too pretty. They're too like...
Gross them up. Look, just because you make gross things doesn't mean you have to be gross. Just saying. Homunculus is pretty gross.
That's a fair point.
Bless you.
Thanks, Steven. What do you think of Abaddon, Cypher, and Alpha Legion 2000?
I think it's cool. Is it good? I don't know.
I think Abaddon's good. I think Cypher's good. And I think Alpha Legion can be good. So, there you go.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
All right, we got back to great speed.
Our new emperor.
The first name,
5,
as far as I can tell, is just
IF
letters and numbers.
9. It probably says something.
Elite?
Elite.
Safe on...
I don't
know what the 9 is.
Yeah. It could be safe on. What up, Great Speed?
What's up?
Thank you for your generous super chat and also becoming an emperor.
Yeah, my membership was long overdue. You guys lifted me out of a dark place I'm mainly into the painting and building side of this hobby due to the lack of place to play in NorCal. Thanks for all the great content. Hey, man, I'm glad we've come full circle. I have been in bad places in my life and dependent on streaming.
Yeah.
And now here I am on the other side.
Right?
Full circle.
So that's
Great.
That's the idea, right? Pass it forwards. Help everyone out. We can all lift each other up.
And then one day, you'll be in this chair.
Specifically here.
Right here.
Yeah.
On Tabletop Titans. And you'll be helping somebody else. But pay it forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We really appreciate it, and we are honestly lucky to have you in the community. So I'm glad we could help in whatever way we can. So thank you. We're very lucky to have you guys.
Thanks, Magnus. What up, fam? Passed after tummy time and wake up to the Shadow Sword-a-thon.
What?
Was dope.
I'm still confused about tummy time.
What was tummy time? I don't remember what tummy time was.
I don't want to know.
Does that mean more guard streams now, including Shadow Sword? Do you have enough guardsmen for a brigade?
Oh, Mel's explaining tummy time.
But
what do you know?
How would we know when Magnus's tummy time was?
He's just telling us. Past
That's what he's saying.
tummy time.
Watched the game, went to tummy time, came back. Shenanigans.
Oh, okay.
She's explaining your life.
But we don't understand it enough to pass it on.
Oh, right, because they couldn't hear. Anyways, tummy time apparently is when you take a babby and you put them on your tummy.
Okay.
And that's basically what I understood.
But how long could you really last with a babby on your tummy? I
With a
feel like
babby?
they will crawl away and get up to no good.
Yeah, but you can probably see them crawling away because they're.
No, I fell asleep.
You fell asleep? Don't fall asleep with a babby on your tummy.
Isn't that the point of tummy time?
For the babby to fall asleep, not you.
No,
That's really bad.
Come on, you're cuddling with your kid. I get to take a nap.
No, you don't. That's actually the secret about being a parent. You never get to take a nap.
Just never be a parent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the solution.
Do we have enough guardsmen for a brigade? We have 60, so we can technically make a brigade.
Well, I feel bad because I say this every time I play guard. We have all those boxes of Kriegers from the Kill Team box.
We do say that a lot.
We need to build and paint them.
We do say that a lot.
So.
But there's so much to build and paint, dude.
I know.
Well,
I keep trying to pass it to John because once
John's not gonna paint anything.
No, but he'll take it and have someone else do it. He
Oh,
does that.
yeah, but it'll take 6 months.
I know.
His painters are slow.
Wow. Look, we're friends with his painters.
We are?
Yeah.
Thought he sent.
I'm not gonna name names after you just said they were slow.
I thought he sent most of his stuff overseas.
He was.
Did he stop doing that?
At least I know one of his painters we know, and they're very busy. I also know several other people that are also getting stuff to them.
Oh.
It's a long story, but I think, yeah.
The people that I know that were slow were overseas, so
Yeah.
it's nobody we know.
Nobody we know.
Thanks again, Magnus. Any chance of getting some conscripts? White shields would be tight. Yeah, I was looking at that strat. You can upgrade conscripts to lose all the bad stuff. In the Cadia book.
Oh.
You can just make them white shields, and then they lose the thing where they don't do orders on 4-ups.
That's cool.
And they get +2 leadership.
Whoa. That's cool.
They go from leadership 4 to 6 or something. Which is not really. But
You're paying a CP for that?
yeah.
I don't like that.
Well,
Is it for all of them or is it for one
No,
squad?
for one squad. But so that's a 60 man. Because they're 20 to 60, right?
Sure.
And you can give a 60 man orders. So you can give them first rank, second rank, and reroll all hits because you're Cadia. That's 60 lasguns. So that's 10 sixes and then another 9 sixes. So that's 19 auto wounds.
Okay.
But they get 2 ups, so that's 3 damage against it. Kills 1 Terminator. Yep, no, I don't know.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
I think Brigade is definitely on the table. Conscripts, a little bit less so.
Yeah.
I'll
We
make-
definitely don't have enough models to do conscript spam.
Well, frankly, I would want some other model then. I'd want to represent them differently,
Right.
you know?
If you're playing both, you definitely have to represent them differently.
Yeah.
And we don't have enough to play our guardsmen as just all conscripts. So we would have to play both in the same game. And we don't.
Yeah, we would need to get 30 to 60 more models. So I definitely would prioritize getting the Brigade running before we look at that.
Yeah.
But look, I'll be honest, like I said, back to this John idea. He's very into guard right now, and he's getting hyped.
He is?
So maybe with a new book, John can get us some more models.
When wasn't he getting Star Wars stuff done? When is that gonna happen?
Well, his commission person. Didn't that start at Christmas?
I think it was longer ago than that. Look.
Anyways, John, if you're watching.
I hope you're okay, John.
Yeah.
Thanks, thanks, Benny. Thanks, Benny. Relic of Cadia is good against non-chaos 2. Getting reroll once to hit and wound in 12-inch Tank Commander is your whole army rerolling. Very powerful when used at the right time. Good versus all armies. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But when we are setting up an individual game of like, I get the maximum benefit, it just feels like bullying.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think Benny was saying that he takes it in his list because it's so relevant to the meta right now.
Yeah.
And you were just commenting we wouldn't take it in these particular matchups because it could be too much.
Right.
But it is great, just generally speaking.
It's amazing.
Because of all that. So
yeah.
Just to sort of make that clear.
Yes.
It's so strong.
We're sort of, Benny, we're talking past each other.
I think you guys
we're
are
making
slightly
different
missed.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're big fans. Of you, Benny.
Speaking of which, thanks again, Benny. Transports are okay, but they are not worth it. 10 infantry can do more than 1 Chimera. Much more flexible for screening and objectives. Plus, Cadia has a new armor buffing strat also with Take Cover.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's another strat.
I don't. Every time I've used Take Cover, it did not feel like it was worth the CP.
It's hard to know when and where, right?
It seems like never and nowhere is when it's worth it.
I mean, look, you did it, and then I was like, guess I need to shoot more shots at them.
Right.
And then I did, and it died.
Yeah.
So, you made me think about it.
Guardsmen will not live.
But I can see the transport thing, especially ironically, because pretty much nobody is shooting out of line of sight except for guard now.
Right.
Transports are a little bit less necessary, and you can kind of just be staging depending on what type of terrain you're playing, blah, blah. So, I can definitely see that argument there.
When the bummer is an empty Chimera is not worth its points, whereas I guess an empty Rhino isn't really worth its points either. It just feels particularly bad with a Chimera because it has medium bad guard shooting when it's full, and then it has even bad for guard shooting when it's empty, and you're like, yeah, this feels like a bad investment.
I agree. Frankly, I would make the Chimera cheaper and make it worse.
How would you make it worse?
I mean, first of all, it should be toughness 6, okay?
Why?
Because it's like a little box made by little humans.
It's basically a Rhino with las guns sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Are you about to say a Rhino should be T6?
No, because that's been made by Space Marines, please. And it doesn't have holes in it where you have to stick your guns out the holes.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
So there you go. Plus, I'm just
They're
offended.
made by the same people, though. They're both made by AdMag.
Well, by that argument, though, they should all be in, whatever the top of the line is.
No, because there's different classes. There's different...
Exactly.
But I don't think...
Guardsmen
I think a Rhino is the same class as a Chimera. Whereas a Land Raider is clearly a step above. And you can look at it and be like, that's better than that.
It's funny, yeah. I just think of, Chimeras should be, the cheap map. They're not bad. They're not, an orc truck. But they're mass-produced.
Guard need a garbage open-top transport. I'm with you. They need a Jeep.
A Jeep?
They need a Jeep. Guard need a Jeep.
4.
No, a Jeep is not T4, Adrian.
Okay. Best I can do is toughness 5,
T5,
but you can target the guys inside. Best I can do.
What does that even mean? You can target the guys inside.
Means you might as well not be in the Jeep.
A Raider is literally a boat with just a deck that people stand on. And you can't shoot the people
real
in the
fast
Raider.
on drugs, so look, you don't know what's going to happen. But a Jeep.
Gene Stealer called half what I'm describing.
Yep.
What?
But they are pretty cool.
Guard need a Jeep. I think that's an irrefutable fact. Guard need a Jeep. Why is there not a Jeep model?
You know who needs a Jeep? Catechins.
Yes. Catechin also need a helicopter.
Oh. Remember James's Catechin army at Gibraltar?
Oh, that was really
Had
cool.
helicopters.
He had such a cool converted
That was
army.
cool. It was so cool.
That was dope.
Yeah, look, I was off of
Yeah,
the
he's
Jeep
doing
thing, and now I'm back on the Jeep thing.
Back on the Jeep?
Yeah, I'm
Back
with
on the
you.
Jeep. Yeah.
You convinced me. Whoa, thank you for all the super chats, guys.
Ooh, yeah, that was a lot. Look, we'll be right there. Hold, please.
Hold, please.
Thanks, Bakian Lout. What's your opinion on Militarum Tempestus Scions? Also, what do you think is better, 20 Crusaders or 10 Crusaders, a Priest, and a Valkyrie? I think Scions are dope.
Yeah.
Arm of Contempt made Tauroxes even better.
We liked them a lot.
And the fact that you can get Hammer the Emperor in a mixed guard army, as long as you only have one detachment of each, is very good.
I'm really into it.
Like, you take a lasgun and you give it 2 AP, it's just a lasgun with 2 AP now. It's very good.
Yeah. I'm really very positive about Scions.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you take a bunch of plasmas.
Right? They're just better. They're so good.
Are there any weird, like the hotshot volley gun or something? Is there some weird gun that has a ton of shots and good AP, but bad strength? The hotshot volley gun, I think, is what I'm describing. But it's not amazing.
Even the hotshot las, right?
Yeah.
They have the AP, but they have not great strength.
Right.
So it's actually really perfect for their normal guns. And they're not that expensive. I know it's like, oh, Scions are like the expensive guard.
Right.
They're really not.
They're not that expensive.
Like, you could run a bunch of them.
Yeah. They're like 10 points instead of 6.
Which is pretty crazy, given like for like a deep striking unit with a good AP that auto wins on 6s.
One better BS, one better armor.
It's great. Yeah, they have real armor.
Yeah. They're good.
It's a steal.
I think the second question is a trick question.
No Crusaders?
No Crusaders is the answer.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Crusaders. So if I had to pick between 10 and 20, I would pick 10.
Yeah.
But they just got cheaper. Something happened, which is why the people are talking about them. I've seen this before.
Didn't they get nerfed?
No.
I don't think
Why are they getting nerfed? I think they just dropped in points. So, yeah, but I would still say not a ton. I'm not crazy.
They're not impressive.
Yeah.
Guard, in addition to needing a Jeep and a helicopter, need a combat unit. And Crusaders are not that unit. It'd be cool if they were. They have Zealot, right? Crusaders have Zealot.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
9 points per cent.
Oh, 9 points.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, man.
19 for plasma. Dude, that makes me think just run a bunch of, like, just hot shot las.
Yeah.
Like, don't, forget plasma.
Against
if the plasma costs more than the guy, just take 2 guys. Right?
Welcome to Orcs, man.
Just take 2 guys. Like, what are you taking the plasma for? That's what we have tanks for. The tanks shoot the big things, and the plasma, no, just take lasgun.
Because they shoot everything.
Yeah, lasguns shoot everything.
Yeah.
And
I'm super into
the
it.
tanks also shoot everything.
We need more. I wish we could trade 4 of our 8 flyers for more. Like, we need more Scions too, frankly.
Yeah, we do need more. We need
Oh,
more
man. Ryan!
Ryan!
Send us more Scions.
They are cheaper than Bulgrin, yes, but that is a low bar. Because Bulgrin are not very good. They're both bad units.
Look, it's got to be the next book. We got to be getting close.
Ogrin have been bad forever. Can we make Ogrin good?
Oh, okay.
Because Bulgrin are decent, or were decent at times. Ogrin, I don't think have ever been good.
I've literally never seen Ogrin on the table.
Right.
Ever.
They're so bad. They're Bulgrin with bad saves.
What do they even do?
They're cheaper Bulgrin with bad saves.
That's not an identity.
I mean, the Ogrin were the original, and Bulgrin are like the elite Ogrin.
Huh. Interesting.
Because they're just, like, meta-humans, or transhumans. But, like, that sounds weird now that transhuman physiology has been spoken for 3 years.
They have another word for it, I think. Anyway, it's not important.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to redesign. Sad ogre noises.
But dude, a Taurox is a great tank. What do you mean they don't get... That's an amazing... I played... Okay. Remember when I played Lenin at Charity Hammer? One of the 2 a.m. games that I played was against Taurox spam. And I was screwing around. It was like 2 a.m. And I was screwing around and I had tank spam. I had Custody tank spam. And I was like... I was just fooling around. I was like, this can't... This game's a breeze. Like, I'm just going to joke around. And then... It was rough. It was tooth and nail battling me against just Tauroxes. It was rough.
Oh my God, they're swarming.
They're so good.
Turn 1, great.
Dude, his first shooting phase, I like perked up. I like had to actually wake up, and I was like, I'm gonna lose this game.
That's really
to just a bunch of Tauroxes.
Yeah, I think they're awesome.
They're good. Especially with Armor of Contempt, and you take them as, I think Lambda Lions can give them an additional AP, right? Doesn't everything in Lambda Lions get an additional AP?
I want to say yes, but then part of me in the back of my head is saying that there's some reason or thing that something doesn't get it.
Infantry only or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just thinking of the Flyers. So, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, the word they use is abhuman, I think, in the lore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like an offensive term.
It is. Definitely. Imperium is a horrible place.
Not a great place.
Yeah, let's have no illusions about that.
Thanks again, Magnus. Don't know if it would have came up, but another scenario of the +1 combat attrition is the Cadia strat. Never give up, never surrender. Also gives unit OBSEC or double OBSEC solid on conscripts.
No, what? I don't get the connection.
It gives +1 combat attrition. I think this strat gives +1 combat attrition, OBSEC or double OBSEC. Huh.
That's actually very powerful. That first part.
+1 to combat attrition.
We've never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now that we know it auto pass, that's really good.
That's basically 1 CP auto pass around every turn.
That's amazing.
But then once you go below half, which is a lot because you have 60 conscript squads.
Yeah. I am all for this manipulation of combat attrition. I think in the start of edition it felt very sacred.
Yeah.
And Space Marines just ignored
the modifiers.
The modifier.
And there weren't any modifiers.
There weren't. Well, it was just the below half.
Right. Yeah.
And so now they're starting to play with it, and I like it a lot. Honestly, I think it's really cool. Yeah. Like one of the Chaos Knights, right? They're like, they give an extra -1, and then they also have the one that even gets around Space Marines, where they're like, oh, actually,
you just fail on 1s and 2s.
That's cool. That's interesting. Gives it play.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael Cody. Tummy time is important for all of us, but there's a trade-off.
Michael Cody.
You end up as a happy human, but miss out on all the fun coping mechanisms as an adult. I don't want to know.
Nope.
I don't want to know.
Nope.
I don't want to know.
Nope. Michael Cody.
Nope.
Tummy time.
Did you know? Okay, Michael Cody tagged me with a clip of Hobby Titans. Zach was trying to dox somebody, and I don't even know who he was trying to dox.
What? Wow. Michael Cody, looking out. Appreciate.
And Kat stopped Zach.
You know, that guy, sometimes he just doesn't know. He doesn't understand the internet. You know what? Let's dox Zach. All right. Dox Zach. You guys ready?
No.
Here's his address.
No.
Everyone go there.
That would be the worst thing we could do.
Let's prank him. It'll be funny. Here's his credit card. Like, wait, why do you already have it? Oh, yeah, I just stole his credit card.
Dude, he still has my company card. I never got that back.
So we probably shouldn't dox him then.
But he can't use it because I don't know the PIN, so he doesn't know the PIN.
Yeah, he told me about that. I was like, he's like, oh yeah, we need to like do a refund or like a reimbursement for this thing. I was like, didn't you take? Like, I saw you give him the card. He's like, yeah, but we didn't know the PIN. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently he successfully doxed somebody. So.
Oh no.
Rip that person. Thanks, Steven. Until the Codex drops, all future guard games should get the Tank Abomination added to their armies.
Yes. I love it. I love it. We should make our own data slate.
It's pretty cool.
Balanced data slate for the Tank Abomination.
It's 0 points. You get 1 per army. Doesn't take up a slot. And it's a Shadow Sword with a Baneblade turret on top.
Yeah.
And the Gatekeeper. And Calls Wrath. And 1 Death Strike missile. And 1 set of Storm Eagle rocket pods.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, don't forget did you say the Booma?
The what?
The Booma.
And you get a Falchion Super Heavy Tank Destroyer.
And a Booma.
Which is a lot.
The Falchion Super Heavy Tank Destroyer was a lot, yet it actually made me really sad.
For how bad it is?
It was really bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I felt with Shadow Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because in the beginning, people were like, oh, you should totally take it. Take the Shadow Sword.
Wouldn't have.
I think it would have been a faster game.
Might have been worse, yeah. Might have. I don't even know what I would cut to fit a Shadow Sword in.
Too much.
It would have been worse.
Too
It would have been
much.
so worse.
Right?
All right, one last one to close out the night. Thanks, Ian. Adrian with glasses and shadows looks like the guy from the movie Up on that chair.
The old guy. Okay, I can kind of see it.
Well,
Maybe him when he's young. This is a shot of him.
kind of, because there's like he does have that hair thing that you have.
Yeah, the hair, like here.
No, but like he has it
hairline.
like
Yeah,
whoosh, yeah, that yeah.
yeah. We just need to attach some balloons to this.
And you need a much larger nose.
And you need a huge nose.
Yep.
I have a pointy nose, but it's not very wide.
Right.
You
We
work
need
on
like
that.
you need to get a bulbous nose, sort of like we just put like a cherry tomato.
We could just get a clown nose at that point.
That's
Probably be less gross for me.
too big though.
Too big?
Too big.
Oh, cherry tomato. Wait,
Not a
a cherry tomato? It's like a big circle on the end. That makes even less sense.
Like how you thought I said put an entire tomato on your nose. And you responded like it was totally normal.
Yeah, I was like, please, at that point. Oh man, been a day.
Dude, it's been a week. Can you believe it's almost July?
No, I can't. Today's the last day of June. For some of you, it's probably is July.
Today's the last day of June?
Tomorrow's the first,
Really?
or Saturday the first.
Saturday's the first,
No,
right?
I think
July 4th is Monday,
July 4th is Monday.
which makes tomorrow the first, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first.
What happened
That's how calendars
to my life? Where'd it go?
Play more hammer. Sure, yeah, okay. Pugs with the tomato emoji. Wow. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a ton of fun. Of course, Saturday we're going to be back playing more Chaos Space Marines with the Alpha Legion against the Gene Stealer Cults. It's going to be a ton of fun. And again, big welcome to all the new members, all the many, many members that were gifted. Thank you guys for contributing these people. And don't forget, you can watch Tuesday's game. You can vote on it. And yeah, we hope to see you guys soon on the stream on Saturday. And we'll catch you next time on the Tabletop.
Bye.
Bye.